Yo, what's up everyone, it's IceGrenade, how you doing? And today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about zones. So this is a map that I quickly made the other day and it's got a whole bunch of zones. If we go out of this view, you'll see that there are zones everywhere. So I'm going to hide this thing here and you can see the whole map there. I'm going to go to filters and I'm going to just hide the different volumes here so that you can see it better. Now it's just showing the zones and everything else. Okay, if we look out of the map, we'll see these pink boxes and these are the zones. I have them touching. There are a few rules with zones that you want to make sure you meet. One is never ever overlap a zone. If a zone is overlapping, it's gonna crash your map and it won't even give you an error and it just won't work and it will have a problem. Yeah, don't overlap them. You can have them touching like this, or I've heard that you can have them like slightly separated, and the amount separated can be no more than 32 inches. And the reason I think it's 32 inches is if we go over to the scale standards, and these are your doc mod tools, so the root of your Call of Duty, if you go to doc mod tools and then you've got some PDFs in here, it shows that the diameter your character has is 32. It needs to be less than 32 in width or 32 so that your player is always touching a zone. I'm going to just put it back so that the zone is touching. The next thing is, for the zones, you need 3 different KVPs that are important. So the first one is the target name, and this is literally the name of the zone, and I've called this one start zone. If we go to the next zone, I've called that one Z2. For zone 2. You can call it whatever you like. You could call it start_zone for the first one, then you could do zone_2, whatever you like, whatever naming convention. I've just picked a simple one, which is Z2, and then the next zone Z3. The next thing I want to show you is we have the other 2 KVPs. We have a script noteworthy and a target. The script noteworthy is always going to be player volume. That's telling the game what this volume is. It tells the game where the player is. So every single one of your zones is going to have a script noteworthy with a player volume value. The next thing is the target. So each target, when it has a player in it, is going to tell the game, so it's going to target the spawners. So if you're in this zone, it's going to go to the spawners and say, okay, I want these spawners to chase the players. So when you're in this zone, it goes target to start_zone_spawners. If we go in this zone, you'll see that all of the different structs for the spawners, this is a dog one, has a target name of start_zone_spawners. And the risers also have a target name of start_zone_spawners. So all the spawners are going to have target names that are identical to the target of the zone. The zone is targeting the target names of the spawners. And then when you have another zone, you're going to need to activate it somehow and restrict players from going into it, because if you haven't activated it, then when players go into it, they're going to die. Here I have some water, and the water is actually something players can walk through. So what I've done is I've made a clip encasing it as well. So if you look here, there is a clip, and it's quite hard to see, but if I hide the volume, you'll see the clip there clearly, and that clip is just stopping players from going through. And in front of the clip we have a trigger, and the trigger is to allow the players to buy the block. So the trigger will need 4 values, and it will need a target name of zombie debris, and it will need a script flag of EZ2 or whatever you're going to name in your GSC scripts. This is another requirement for zones, is to make sure you have that script flag set there. The target for the trigger is going to be the object that it will be targeting, and in this case we'll be targeting the clip and also the water. So the target name of this clip and the water is door 2, and it has a target of S die, this struct die basically. So when it's bought, I want it to fly up here, and this just gives the effect of it moving off when you're buying it, and you can put this anywhere in your map. I have every single door linked up to the same struct just because I'm lazy, but you can have as many structs as you like and name them accordingly. So you could give this door target struct 1, and then the other doors target struct 2, and then have different structs everywhere. And this script struct is literally just if you press B for Bravo and go script and then Dragon as struct, and it's one of those, and it has a target name of S die. So we have a trigger and we have a target and we have a zombie cost because we want it to cost 1,000. We have it targeting the door. We have a script flag to allow it to activate the zone, and we need to do that in the GSC. And we have the target name zombie debris. And for the next door, I have a clip, which is stopping the players from walking through. We have a target name of door 3. These are 2 models, which are also script models. Remember that when you're making something that's scripted, aka these models, you need to make them script models. You can double click on there when they're selected. And for the clip, we need to make it a script brush model. Anyway, the KVPs for these objects are target name D3, because these are the third door. Well, technically it's the second door, but it's it's the zone 3 door, and they'll be targeting S die. And we go to the next door, and these are doors that are opening up to zone 4. If we look at the trigger, it's got EZ4. Anyway, so we have all these triggers and these doors around the map, and we are showing each time that they open up to these zones. The next thing you need to know is in the GSC. So if we go to open map folder, go to scripts, go to CM, and go down to the GSC. Right, down here, scroll down until you see function user map underscore test zone in it. And this is where you'll be adding in your zone data. So this zone data here is quite straightforward. You put the zone that you're in, which you start off in the start zone, and you put the zone that you'll be going into, and you put the script flag for the zone you're going into. If we go back to the start and we look at this trigger, you see it has a script flag of EZ2. Well, that's what's the third parameter on this line is. So we've got 3 parameters, 1, 2, and 3. And the third parameter is going to be the script flag of the trigger. The second parameter is the zone that you're entering. In this case, we are entering this zone here. So this zone is called zone 2. So if we look there, we'll see zone 2. And we start in the start zone, we're going into zone 2, and we're using a script flag of zone 2. Okay, so now that we've activated that, we'll see that the spawners here have a target name of S2 because their target name is what the zone is pointing to. If we go to this zone, this is targeting the S2 spawners. It's targeting whatever the target name of the spawners is. In this case, it's targeting S2. Same for the risers. Okay, so we'll go to the next door, which has a trigger saying enter zone 3. And if we go back to the code, we'll see enter zone 3 here. Because we're in zone 2, we want to go into zone 3. And when we go into zone 3, we will be entering zone 3. And I have a system where it just goes here, 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 and here. Okay, this is great and all, but say that you, for some reason, you want to activate 2 zones on the same door. Not a problem. So we get down here, and this zone here happens to have another zone there that are next door to each other, but we're going to be teleporting through there and we're not going to be activating the zone. We just want it active as one zone. However, the layout of it means that we need to have more than one zone. So how I do this is I have the script flag as enter zone 11, and if we go over to the code, you'll see that when we're in zone 10 and we want to go into zone 11, we will be entering zone 11. But also when we're entering zone 11, we'll be going into zone 11B, which is the name of the second zone here that sits next to it, 11B. And 11B will be targeting the 11B spawners. So this is how I've set it up, and this way means that the zombies will be spawning right. They won't be spawning behind barriers or anything. What I do as a precautionary measure is if you forget to change one of the spawners to the right name and they get stuck behind a barrier, instead of it becoming a groundbreaking problem, if you use a player clip, then the zombies are going to be able to run through it and they're going to be able to get the player. So if you make a mistake, then you're not going to live with the problem. It's not going to make zombies get stuck and then players won't be able to continue the map because zombies won't be coming at them. So just doing it this way stops players from going through it. Zombies aren't going to be going through it unless players are on the other side of it, so it makes no difference to the players in terms of it being a player clip, but it just stops the zombies getting stuck in the event that you've created an intricate map where zombies might get stuck. So that's about it for zones. I hope this has cleared it up. So the last thing I'll explain is literally when we're making a zone, we got the start zone here, and say I want one to go off to the right, I'll press spacebar, gonna copy it, make sure it meets up so that the player isn't out of the zone, and then we're going to change the target name. I'm going to call this whatever I want. This is zone to the new one, and we want it to target the spawners, so we want it to target the new spawners. We can call it whatever you want. We'll just put SP1, and now when you enter that zone, it's going to be targeting the new spawners, and that's pretty much it. That's the best way to make the zones, is to just use the existing one and to copy it around. Make sure that your zones have the 3 KVPs that are set, your triggers have the 4 KVPs that are set, and that your spawners are set to your zones don't overlap, and that the blockers that you have between the zones have a target so that they can move off when the trigger is bought. And that's pretty much it. From this, you can make any sort of map and have working zones. Anyhow, I hope this has helped you out. If it has, then chuck a like down below. If you've got any questions, then just put them down there and I'll see what I can do. And yeah, take it easy. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great one, and I'll see you another time. See ya. Bye.